Parashat Lecha, Shishi. In this section, the Torah goes back to before Avram was ever commanded by God to leave his homeland. Avram was 70 years old when God revealed himself for the very first time in a prophecy to Avram. And he tells him that he is guaranteeing him the chosen land for him and for his descendants. To which Avram responds and says, Bama eda ki rashena. How do I know? How can I be guaranteed that my children will inherit this land? Avram's question was, how do I know that Avram is saying, deeds are good enough? And how do I know that my children, my descendants' deeds, will always be good enough to have enough merit to keep this land? And God says, don't worry. Because of the sacrifices you are going to do now, that is going to serve as an everlasting merit for you and for your descendants to always have this land, the chosen land of Israel. The Talmud says that since Avram questioned God's promise that unfortunately his descendants were punished, that they shall be exiled before settling in the land of Israel. The exile, the decree was originally for 400 years, starting from the birth of Yitzhak, and in God's great kindness, it was reduced to only 210 years from the day that they left for Egypt with Jacob and his children, and then they returned back to the land of Israel. This is the monumental covenant that happened between HaKadosh Baruch Hu and Abraham, the Brit Ben HaBetarim. Then the Torah goes and returns back to the story after Abraham has settled in Canaan and still has not had any children. Abraham was promised 3 promises by God, that he shall have children, wealth, and fame. Wealth and fame he has, but still no children. And then finally, Abraham is given his 5th out of his 10 tests of trust in Hashem. And Sarai turns to him and says, take my maidservant. She gives him Hagar and says, have a son with her. Who is Hagar? Hagar was a maidservant that Paro gave as a gift to Sarai, which was his very own daughter. Hagar gets pregnant right away. She insults and belittles Sarai, looks down upon her. She runs away. She meets an angel. The angel says, don't worry, go back. You're blessed. You have a son. And in the year 2034, Ishmael is born when Avram is 86 years old. At this point, the Torah fast forwards 13 years to when Avram is 99 years old, and God adds a hey to his name, and now he is finally Avraham.